before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard. Kim, I think there's something about this container. Is this like your thing with that wall again? Maybe, I can't tell. I think we should investigate further. You do, because I don't. What? Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixated on this one? I don't know, Kim, it just feels special. It's a cargo container detective, just like all the others. We're not here to interact with containers, we're here to get the body down from the tree. What if we just take the crane with us? Knock on the door. Open the door. You attempt to turn the handle, no avail. The door seems to be mechanically locked. Maybe that's what the other switch is for. Like, despite Kim's protests, clearly this has got to be a special container. Based on pretty much nothing but this one. The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all. Oh, okay. Shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. Speaker tower silent. There is no work to organize in the yard. I think I need to equip. I think I need to equip the pry bar. You like my voice? Thank you. This game has been making my throat sore each day. Too much reading out loud. Alright, I want to equip this pry bar. Let's see if that allows me to open this. It does. Ooh, Half-Life. That sounds useful, maybe. I don't know. Is there a button to sort? Guess not. What do I have right now? I got interface. Fuck it, we'll just stay with what we got. Onwards. Industrial-sized thermos smells like burnt coffee. Oh. Is there anything else out there? Hold on. Kim, get the fuck out of our way. I didn't realize that was a loading point. There might still have been more things in the other area, and if there's free shit, I want it. Like, see, there's a guy. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
It's a terrible song, Jesus Christ. The lyrics to this container song are being made up as it goes along. The accent itself, I think it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisant on Monday.
Container, used to be Walpines. Container, now belongs to Evrout.
Hi.
Evrout, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there, how can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an asshole for no apparent reason.
I see you're not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
No, they don't.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Oh, no. You're Ubi, right? Oh, yes, born and raised in Iraish, Mr. Mom had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent, took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir, those are just nasty rumors. Thank you for clarifying that, so what are you doing with the containers? I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. What's going on here? Look at the mountain of containers rising behind it. The containers in the yard are green and wild pines livery, and the mountain rising behind Leo is all red and union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outward from the container yard's core. Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers? No, not really. He shrugs and continues merrily. Mr. Everard doesn't tell me all the big things, says I go and tell them to everyone. This looks like a massive redecorating operation. Yes, they're hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Bubble Union logo on them. Where is everybody? Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. We just haven't worked for 2 months now. So no one is working. Not everyone is down here, of course, he chuckles. Mr. Everard is in his office where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble, and Everard sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so. He seems eager to tell me something. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into? I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred something up in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everard tell them to take some time off. Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow. Really? Did they kill someone? No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking. He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him? Do you work here? Yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I thought they were on strike. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everard's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everard's away. Actually, Miss Buford is the right-hand man, but she's a lady. A good-hearted chuckle again. Who is this Miss Buford? A real pretty lady with the skin like those whatever candy bars, and Mrs. likes so much. Them are real nice to seduce on. Once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio, this is getting weird to read. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Let's stay on this Miss Buford topic. Yeah, maybe she's cute. Hold on, who's this Miss Buford? Can I have her number? Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everard put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyery. He respects that word, that's obvious. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. For a fraction of a second, there's sadness at his eyes. He goes on, if Mrs. and me were to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. She can't have kids. Dr. Malala said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has. He sighs and falls on, watching you, blah, blah, blah. So, Everard trained a lawyer named Miss Buford. Interesting. I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo. Yes, this place really seems like to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo. Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. You don't even know who we are. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here, but you guys are alright. Are you the Leo who wrote the notes to make more banners? Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. What? What was that about the word borscht? Oh, yes, I've been talking special whirling borscht to the men. Taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. It makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadine's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. What do you mean by taking this soup to the men. Is it for striking? Yes, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling rags. How much you want to bet there's drugs in it? Who makes it at the whirling? Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grodd. Something is off about this borscht. I'm gonna go look into it. Eventually. Maybe. I'll probably forget. I won't care. What's in the container over there? Oh, that one? He looks at the container. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be looted up. Told ya. I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's awfully nice fellow. He is. Tell him his brother, or him and his brother are both nice fellows. They live their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez and what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man. Oh, Mr. Everard. It is where he always is, in his office, of course. He points to the two joint containers on your right. And, guess I'm off. Boink. So I'm guessing that way. Let's make a quick save over here. Save and save. So far, so good. Coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. I'm actually thinking I might keep these glasses off because I think I'd rather have +1 drama. And I've actually put points in visual calculus, so if we were doing an investigation or something, I might specifically put those on. Stair made of pallets leading up. Oh no, he's fat. That's not good. I can't click on the desk. I'd really talk to the fat guy. Oh, good God. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree. Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
I'd rather stay standing.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He knows he's fat. He looks extremely comfortable. Tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Oh, I got this. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
Oh, he's jealous of my standing capabilities. It's nothing else, that's probably right. That's nothing, forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure. I don't sit, it's kind of my thing. Yeah, fuck it, I'll sit.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
I'm not winking at him. I'm just gonna remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the DeBarges Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
I lost health. What? The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside. I'm losing health just sitting in the chair.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Points to a giant novelty check. It's absolutely comically huge. It's like one of those like game show checks for like $1 million or something. It like takes 3 people to hold it up.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go ahead, take it.
I will. Hey, it's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could. Thank you, Ever. Take the check. Hell yeah.
Don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Is he? He's not. He gives me a mob boss mentality vibe. That's alright with me.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun.
Oh, right.
Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Why?
Lost gun. Lost gun.
Now the world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape it. Gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, don't worry, he actually meant be very worried. I'm not worried. I got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you've got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right.
Not my ass. This chair sucks. Clearly violating his ass.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Don't panic. 3%. Let's see what happens. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it. No, I'm not about to cry. Try to stick.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Yeah, that face gives me a very Ugandan feel to it. And there goes another morale. What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois!
I can hear you. What?
Harry!
Keep sliding down the chair like a jello shot. Hell yeah. Jello shot it is.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Yes. Maybe you could use your hands somehow in a kind of throwing motion like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. Ease, Mr. Dubois. Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking great and just keep sliding. I don't think I should take any drinks or food from this guy. Because shit's probably laced with fuck knows what. Melty. Yeah, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I'm very busy.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It's about a time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity. Aren't you gonna ask me how I got in? Harry says, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia, a man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with, tapping on my chest. Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry, very impressive. Anyway, I assure you I'm a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry. It did, but it called me a lot of other things too. So that's really my name? Oh my god, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnestic cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that are very low. It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first? My memory is fine. I'm just toasting you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. I don't think your big fat fingers can even... never mind. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him, no harm done. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder, that's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. Let's get this straight. What is my full name? It's Harry. Guys, Harry Dubois. I feel like a Dubois, but Dubois, I don't know what to call it. Maybe Dubois. It's the boy. But you don't feel like a Harry Strange. You don't feel like any of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count or a beautiful man. That's not my name. My name is Raphael Costier. Fine, Harry. He waves you off. You can even be Harry Raphael de Boy de Castu, or whatever you choose to be. The lieutenant covers his face, slightly sighs audibly. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you in any way I can. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have wife or kids? Family, Harry? You're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man? You're right, I don't. That's why I like you, Harry. His fat finger is pointing at you. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, are one of the all-time greats. What kind of cop does it say I am? Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright, shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. That's what I like about you, Everard. You get me. Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages. Your name in giant neon letters, Harry Dubois. I am Harry the Boy. The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois hanging from the Gvalson crane can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Why? That seems weird. Somewhere in Mirova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my god, I shouldn't have left him." Where'd you get the folder? All this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt. I find it very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. So, drama check. Easy. As you look at the folder, Everard hovers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet. That's not an RCM folder. Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Consensus Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them. He's got the name from the Consensus Bureau and everything else from your actions here in Martinez. Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau, like I said. He looks annoyed. Now, I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry? That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity, the mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being, so the Census Bureau says my name is Harry DuBois. Yes, that's what it said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. I'm told the union involved in the local drug... I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade. What? He smacks his forehead. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly. No comment. Harry. You wound me, Harry, in the heart, but I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we? He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy. Thank you for understanding. We will continue to do what we must. You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. That sounds so wrong. None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry? Could you help me get a dead body down from the tree? That's kind of like the main thing that I'm after. You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us as a stain on the neighborhood. Oh, shit. You guys remember the footprints? And one of them was a lot heavier than the rest. It really might have been a fat guy's footprints. Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene. Worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am gonna help you. He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, then clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And John, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. He hangs up and turns back to you. So that might be the meathead guy or whatever his name was. That talked. Ugh, it was such a pain to read. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's gonna help you. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every parade ground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. We already know some woman bought it from the pawn shop. And I bet you anything it's probably that lawyer chick that we were hearing about. I just have feels for it, you know. The gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. But they're gonna frame me or something. I can just... It's just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Yeah, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building a relationship for the good of Martinez. It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. I will not be blackmailed with this gun business. Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. His tone is suddenly very serious. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Well, that's just natural selection at work then. That's fine. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry. I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well. The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate. If inevitable, it doesn't put the RCM in a good light. I want to talk about the hanging. Of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez, he nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body in your lost gun. Secret task complete. Oh, and we level. Sweet. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange info, we could blow this thing wide open. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Because you're fat. You're police officers, aren't you? You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. No, we're not. I'm not. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors. This really is very simple. There's nothing shady about it. Why don't you just open it yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't think you could fit through a doorway. I don't have the extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you. I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be? Whose door? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. Weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? Because that would imply somebody, not nobody. A loud babbling weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about the murder. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. Open apartment door. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union, Special Operations, hardened socialist, a real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiled, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Alright, so before we do any more talking with him, I guess we'll have to do another task. I might open up more shit here, right? Nah. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing, if you can make it even shadier. He sincerely has no idea what you're talking about, and he doesn't care either. I met Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. He adjusts a button. I hope you're getting along. one thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Marnies here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun, I'm not a jealous guy. Whoa, that's so nice of him, suspiciously nice. Are you sure? I find it a little odd. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotion, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Yeah, like Jolly Saint Nick or something. What happened to the previous negotiator? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. He looks down and sighs. God knows how long he's got left. You called him a midget. Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Must be his double. That did it. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce. Bonnie, Joyce didn't mention it. Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was rabbit stew or a hairdryer or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. Yeah, he looks like really trustworthy and very reliable. And if he was trapped on an island, he'd probably be able to survive for a long time just as the body eats away at its own reserves. So that survival, like trust. That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. Part of like the way I'm picking up the vibes on him, because I know they told us earlier there's two of them. One of them has a lazy eye, the other one does not, and they just keep swapping back and forth. Maybe one of them is actually fine and dandy, and the other one is more shady or something. Because it sounds like he's not aware of a couple things that may have been otherwise under his name, which that's why I'm getting that feel. I could be wrong. If it's spilled blood you're looking, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor right now. Joyce seems to think the Union is lowballing her. Better than blueballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He suddenly... This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here, but everything's a casino for those rich types. Casinos are legitimate businesses. His expression makes it clear this is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. The gaming unions. He doesn't want to see her. It's simple as that. Alright, let's talk about something else. Of course, Harry. Let me assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a complete, transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. He looks around. Tell her how overweight I am. Oh, I will. And how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard don't mind. Everard. It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It's nice. It was nice telling him about her right now. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the slug crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking, maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it. Everett, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Thanks. I was wondering how I was supposed to get out. So we got the Union card. I think I know where to use that. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. Alright, let's go. So what does our journal look like now? Find speed and sniff it. The special borscht. Get the key to the weasel's door from Wanana. Or, I wonder, can I go talk to Mr. Buckethead or whatever? And finally get to make some progress on that fucking corpse. Because that would be great. That thing's been hanging there, and we have not been successful for a while. You just have to remember how to get back out of here. Hey, we can attempt it. Oh. Never mind. 3%. I don't like those odds. Measurehead makes all men quiver. Tunkus uses all these words I've never heard. Moving around in this game. It's not the best of times, I'll tell you that. Oh, map tab lists all the journalists and the thing they can do again. So hopefully I can just use this door now, right? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, progress. Oh, I see. So this... Okay. Awesome. Let's see if I can talk to this butthole.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Everard told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall and blah 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 blah. Then had him give me an order. I salute you, cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Monsieur Hand. There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you. I'm cool with that. It looks like there's something for me to steal. That will mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side. Okay. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time? Yeah, leave me with your women. Hell yeah. They look a little stuck up and valley girly. Now to start hitting on everybody. The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. He's turning to you. So you guys are like cops or something? Apparently so. Cool, I like men with guns and power. The woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? That sound, he's breaking something. He's probably ripping the whole tree out of the ground. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it. Yeah, I make a great woman voice, don't I? I also wish I could see it. I can hear it. Look at you, RCM Rent-A-Cops. Guarding that bridge like ever lapdog. Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale? Yeah, unless you want to pay more. I'd happily switch sides. And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? Oh, even Kim's getting into this. I'll work with whoever I want. Bitch. Now, go back to talking with the ladies. A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Marnie's. It's Kuno. Then... the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. Like loot that box yet. Damn. The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. Thank you for your cooperation, Buckethead. Farewell, ham sandwich. Hey, welcome to my army. I'm a detective. You are a Union man from now on. Do you know anything about this mug? It is not so much as glance at the object. Know anything about it? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He had nothing to do with it. I don't really feel like talking with him. I think he's annoying. I'd rather talk with these girls, but I can't. Yeah, we can't. I was hoping that when he left, we'd be able to stand here and like loot whatever's in that box. I was wrong. Save and save. So, good news is now we can go play with the corpse. We should probably talk to him too, but I don't want to right now. One thing at a time. Actually, I want to go check that shop down south. I would like to see what things we could buy. This guy also a merchant? I can't remember.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Never mind. Let's see.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
I'll buy him. Itchy pants. Why not? I need those fall sneakers. What am I currently... I can't access. Oh. Kind of pricey. The current shoes I have is Composure. Oh. Fuck it, I want them. And the fact that it lowers my encyclopedia is only a bonus. That means less annoying shit to read. We'll keep this there in case I need it, but that's about it. Alright. Anything else? What is this? Oh. 50 cents for speakers? Hell yeah. The junk is yours, officer. The street vendor hands you the speakers. Have you listening? Try not to hurt your ears with the Sumerian garbage. What is this?
The shine on those sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Oh, right, the ugly glasses. I think I did have to pass a skill check to get different glasses, huh? 28%. I like those odds. Let's go for it. Fuck. Okay, then. Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. And for mere 6 real. Kim, are firefights something we should be prepared for? I hope not. Yeah, I'll take it. We always hacksaws more, right? Right. Why not? Anything else for me to steal? Or not steal, but... Oh shit, I'm also supposed to spend money on the hotel thing. I'll do that before I forget. Let's see, what is this? Inspect the names. Or, like we already read this, so fuck it. Inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue, blah blah. Which one, blah blah. Yes, I can find them out. I don't even feel like reading any of that. I think their poverty's been exaggerated. I wish it was more. I cannot comment. Whatever, I don't care. Seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Nah, can't be that interesting. Yeah, we already bought a boombox thing here. That's all we got. Alrighty. I have one more place I wanted to check. That was the doodad up in the thing with the stuff. This place. I guess I could have gone here first now that I think about it. Oh, I didn't even equip that thing, did I? Oh, it replaces my... Well, perception's better than encyclopedia. I thought it was glasses, but I guess not. It's looking for something that does not interfere with my thingy. Knick-knack stand. You see several packages. Raincoats for its slogan on the back. Steal a raincoat. I do not want to buy that. I'm not even going to read it. Fuck it. Because I don't think we ever even checked what she sells. Pharmaceuticals. What is this? Morale, health and health. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that. On account of how awesome I am and shit, right? Electrochemistry. There in that dark green glass. A world of ruby all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol. Oh, it's booze. I'm in heaven. I need it all so bad. Clerk looks at the wall of goods. I'm sure if you want something, I can get it for you. Just let me know and pay stuff. So we can buy booze here. What does the cigarettes do? Oh, so that's what they mean by... Interesting. So we can raise our stats, essentially. And we take some damage as a result. I'll make a mental note of that. So let's go ahead and buy out a room for the day so I don't accidentally forget. And then we're going to go play with that corpse and see what the hell happens. Can I go in this one? Close for winter, use the main entrance. Playing with corpses is one of my hobbies. It's how we used to pass the time when we were kids. Oh god, we gotta deal with these dildos.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight. Art to cafeteria manager. Got 20 real. Got this giant novelty check? I forgot about that. Must be kidding, right? Yeah, good one, officer. Real funny. But this establishment only takes cash. Now, do you have that cash, Mr. Novelty Check Man? Frit, near the gates. Oh, we were just there. Fucking bitch. Now I gotta go back to that. I knew that fat guy was up to something. That's why he didn't pay us with money, so I have to do all this extra shit. Ha ha, joke's on me, I get it. I don't like they have to double click to run, it's so clunky. Alright, who's gonna buy my stupid crap? Or maybe I have to just use it in this? Let's find out. Nope, that's the bottles. Maybe I have to talk to her. Ma'am? You?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this. Wow, I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter. Anything else I can do for you? No. That'll be all. Make a save as well while we're at it. Bam, bam. Off to the corpses. Or just one. Gonna corpse it up good. That guy looks so terrible. This is a model officer. Here we go. A hanged man. The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pine wood branch. It's gently laid on one side. Beautiful, as I wipe a tear from my eye. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job, the lieutenant nods approvingly. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose and lists 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We're on number 3. The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up. Got it. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Tell me something, dead man. Okay, we can still talk to it, basically. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. We're not doing it here? You know what a field autopsy is? Well, I guess it is on the field. Yeah. We've done 100 of them. Actually, it appears I have forgotten. Now, clap your glove hand. Let's get in there. That's the one. There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. He nods approvingly. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity. Alright. I'll ask you when I need you. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contacts and you take the notes. Okay, where should I take these notes? In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form. You're not gonna believe this. I think I've lost my paperwork. Now they only have one paperwork too. Officer, what haven't you lost? I mean, I still have my disco trousers. Yeah, barely. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along. Yeah, let's work off yours. Path of least resistance. Right, the autopsy form is near the end. probably... I can't access my inventory right now, but okay, open the notebook. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. That's a lot of F's. 11-field info form needs filling out first. Begin. I could jump to part 3. Nah, that's you. I'm gonna write Rafael Ambrosio Castillo, the name that we made up. The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says coroner's case number. Write it down. Next, name, not available. Next, date of birth, NA, age, and corrects roughly 50. Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. I'm gonna write about 42. He nods. Race, human. Oh, Mondian. Write down. Pudgy muscle curdled meat looks neither Mondian nor anything other. Sex, plenty. Buckety fuck little monstrous games, energetically male. Pig's gonna have sex. I could write fucky. Pig's gonna have sex. I'm just gonna write male. Cause I'm a professional. In an unprofessional way, but... Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face. Date of death. We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? He looks over your shoulder. Body identified by... Case numbers, same as the coroner's case. Listens. With the cargo belt still around his neck, only 1 box remains. Evidence of treatment. None, at least not after initial examination. A strange word, treatment. What exactly is treatment anyways? Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed. I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained co-workers. Or dock workers. He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. We should start the postmortem. Turn the page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why. Try to remove the dead man's boots. I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Lieutenant Jiggs said, let's not turn this into some kind of circus. Lame. Damn it, this is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe after he's gone to sleep. Oh. I think I see, so I have to... Okay. What does this do? Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is blah blah blah, I think. Let's see. Where's the body? Check its side. The underwear label. See, it's happening. Aberdeenyas, inexpensive, size medium, color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. Write it down. The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of boots is left for processing. Maybe I could be the processing. Can I be the processor? I just have to stop at Fritz and get some thermal paste. Put a heatsink like on my forehead and shit. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire, if you are to keep them for yourself as you ought to. You have deserved them more than anybody else. I'm gonna omit the boots. Maybe I'll be able to take him later. The boot has a serial number. He twists the dead man's foot. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Write it down. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches far from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigata Mini. I think that was his camera. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. Write it down. Just write everything he says down, except the boots. He produces a measuring tape. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age 42. Preservation's good, ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. Nails indicate a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. Hell yeah. The hair under your latex fingers feel cold to touch. Wet. Stroke his hair gently. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove like thread off a rag doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. Keep petting him. More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below an alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now. There, babe. The lieutenant watches you in silence. What are you looking at? Yeah, write it down, adding the brilliantine. That was some sick shit. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity. Yeah, that would be fucking Kuno. You little shit. Fucking low velocity. Chink chonk. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. No, he wasn't talking shit about Kuno's velocity. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Should I amend for high velocity? No. We'll just write down. Ligature mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife with the other hand pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into the polyester. Stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. Steel wiring, he concedes breathlessly. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got just the right tool for that, the chain cutters. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters, or good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber grip cutters. Now we're just pet the chain cutters. That healed my morale for some reason. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Always good to think ahead now. He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below, carefully, with as much precision as you can. See, my pig's gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. See, looks blasé. A pig's a boring fuck. Oof. Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. I'm not your pig. I'm gonna look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now like a flower arranger. 2 cuts, and it should come loose. I'm not your pig, Kuno. You are. You Kunos pig. Oh. My percentage went down by 30% almost. Or, whatever. Okay, extra fuck. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Alright, they're buried. I should have fucking just... Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then... rotate it some more. Really, really bad smells coming from there now, and some kind of cracking sound. You know, I've cut some... Yeah, fuck that... Told you that my pig was hardcore. He steps in and takes the chain cutters from you. I should have a go before... I think I have a strategy. Alright, I'll let him work. He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. I guess it didn't matter whether or not I was successful. He was. Snap, the knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it. Here, he hands you the chain cutters back and then kneels closer to the body, running his fingers along the dark red groove until he comes to a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nave. Is observed on the skin and above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 to 1.5 meters. Chest is intact. He presses down on it. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia. He pulls down a man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen. See? I fucking knew it. Like, wouldn't we want to, like, clear out? This is, like, you know, police tape and shit. Like, we're not supposed to have an audience of fucking kids. This is clearly what they've been waiting for ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible. Like, wouldn't this be considered irresponsible? We're performing an autopsy in front of 2 kids. Genitalia is male and unremarkable. Had no evidence of injury. I guess I should inspect it too. The dead man's penis is average size, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath the genitalia's greenish marbling is present around the crotch. Better write it down and move on. Back is symmetrical and intact. He struggles to turn the corpse on his side. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty. This scarring is extensive, way more than law officials. We have a real museum here of battles, wars. Write it down. Last item, hands. He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, and moves on to the other. I better pick it up too. Pick up the hand. His flesh is cold, icy. Pleased to meet you. Where are you from, and what is your name? My name is... I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia, and your name is El Kobo. What can I do for you, El Kobo de Cappadocia? It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair? I did, Kobo, I did. Remind me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. I think I need a drink. Ow. Alright, we're good. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean. Hands are clean, Lieutenant concludes. The dead man's fingers slip from your hand, cold and sausage-like. No sign of injury from struggling. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I was just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Whoosh, he turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve in his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Oof, that was all just step one of many. Alright, internal examination summary. Central nervous system, he says, then concludes abruptly, I have nothing. Do you have anything in this man's central nervous system? Oh. Of course, there's a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story. If I may add the moral of the story, what would that be? He looks at you inquisitively. The dead man looks too, but barely contain excitement to hear the moral of his story. The brain is vulnerable to compromise and its blood supply. The lieutenant grins. I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. I'll write NA. Good. Musculoskeletal purge fluid is coming from the mouth. He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. Yeah, jack that fucker off. The hyoid. I'm not even familiar with that bone. Hyoid. The hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable. Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaw. Respiratory system. He steps to exert more force. Both hands are used. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucus of the lips and mouth. From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart, hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands. Look inside the dead man's mouth. Hell yeah. No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there, sickly sweet, unlike anything living. You feel like throwing up, straight in that mouth. It's a horseshoe-shaped bone in your throat. Only bone not attached to any other. I see. I'm learning something new. Pretty cool. For some reason, though, I'm picturing the wishbones from like chickens and stuff. Obviously it's not, but now I'm gonna look deeper inside. Oh, there goes my health. It's hard. You taste stomach acid in the back of your throat, a contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow. Just keep looking. Inside you see darkness, just a mess of meat and darkness. There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later. The lieutenant lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Hemorrhaging present in mucus. He repeats impatiently. Fine, I'll write it down. He wipes his brow. Hepatobiliary. Hepatobiliary. Why, don't we have anything? He looks at the corpse stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? I don't think so. Neither am I. And that's it. That's it. Alright, right, NA then. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Both? Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do. Like a toxicology screening, he looks at the monster. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if it was brimming with cocaine, but still, you should add a request. Write NA and add toxicology requested. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging. Yeah, I can imagine. And he was kind of hanging, so, like, yeah, something wrapped around your neck, and it's supporting the weight of a full body. That'd be more than if I was just trying to choke you or something. More potential. Gastrointestinal, he breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of the feces there. This will do. Then he touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly and says, digested semi-solid food in stomach, voila. Write it down, omit the voila. Or should I keep the voila? I'll write it down, I'm gonna, voila. What's next on the list? Number 3. Description of injuries. Let's see, he tilts his head. We have bite marks, contusions on head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one, too. What about the injuries we have inflicted? Oh, he looks incredulous. So, we inflicted them. Hey, this is a team effort. You mean the incisions on the thorax from a chain cutter? That was not a team effort, and I wouldn't mention it. Muddies the waters. I agree, waters are muddy enough. See, these pigs are fucking corrupt. The boy nods approvingly. Shut up, you fucking 12-year-old. You don't even... How do you even know what we're talking about? Grown-ups are talking. Why don't you fuck them if you love them so much? Now, injuries, bite marks. He nods. Head, chest, and scalp bite marks. The injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. Write down. And your opinion, officer, beneath the description there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Non-fatal, postmortem. Agreed. Next injury, contusions. So the scalp bleeds from a postmortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it, postmortem. At maximum velocity, fucko. Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity. Write down. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalpel and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes. Non-fatal postmortem. Right next, ligature mark. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No sign of clawing on the neck. Write it down. Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side, awaiting your judgment. The ring is around his neck is visible. I take it you enjoyed the game? Me? It's a bit tiring because I'm reading everything out loud. Gotta keep my throat hydrated. Opinion. Fatal injury, 100%. That's it. He cracks an uneasy smile. We have established cause of death. It's not much and it leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket. A body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. First, how did it go? Well, he established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. I thought the goal was to take a shoot. We also requested a toxicology screening that was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks. If we're lucky, I would not hold my breath. What else? We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. Alright, what now? Now he pockets it. We put him in a body bag and I drive him to Faubourg for processing. The lieutenant looks at the dead man one more time, then at his notebook, then at the corpse again. He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. Fuck. I do not have much of this perception. We can't try to dig his shoes. Who cares? Let's see what happens. You run your hand over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso, with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. Let's look in his pants. Again, the genitals in his breeches continues to be unnoteworthy. You see the penis of a dead man. If you've seen it once, you've already got the picture. Bucks can't get enough of that dick. Do you think we missed something? Can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you. Yes, there's something we're not seeing. Okay, we're in liver mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body. If we want to conduct another experiment, or another examination, we'll need to do it fast. Wait a minute. When we went through the bookstore, there was the ice bear, refrigerator thing. Can we use that? Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? Hey, a wide smile appears on his face. Wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building? Yes, he points to the commercial area. So that's what the ice bear-shaped refrigerator's for. Now that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Closes his notebook and cracks his neck. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we're looking for in the deceased will become harder to find. Oh, I know where we're going next. To the wherever the hell the thing was. Oh wait, we can go this way too. I forgot. This is a shortcut. Or actually, it might not be. Probably about the same. No, it is, because it's right there. I'm just going to leave for now. Bear's eyes are dead. Okay, so what do you think of this fridge, Kim? It looks big enough for 2 corpses. It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect. All we have to do is plug the fridge back in. Yeah, we kinda did unplug it earlier. Let's put our thingy back on. Where are my... Yeah, my flashlight. Bam. Hopefully I can plug it back in. Plug in the black cable? Somewhere a machine hums with the currently happy and content. Plug in the red one too. A giant electric mammal awakens. The dead body is going to be safe in the embrace of its cold innards. Great, the owners of this building will just have to keep paying for the electricity. Sucked up by this monstrosity a little longer. Let's return to the fridge. I am on it. Fridge is plugged in now. Will you help me with the body, Kim? Of course. I'll take the head, you take the feet. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but we'll manage. Okay, let's do this. Clap your hands. The body's heavier than you expected. And stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork. Hey, at least it wasn't another skill check, right? I don't have any of the physical stuffs. Beautiful, he says, wiping his hands in his handkerchief. A dead body in a nice spare fridge. This is awesome. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. Not something I would have expected him to say. Really? You think it's good work? No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice spare fridge. The story does not leave this room. He means that he doesn't want to be the ice bear cop. Yeah, this isn't police work, Kim. It's art. We're artists, and this was our vision. If I were an artist, this would certainly not be my vision. I would be much, much more conservative in my work. He's right. His work would be much more formal. At least At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances. Hell yeah. Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting. Well, our perception's still fucked. I can't try to remove his shoes right now because this guy. Tell me something, dead man. How do you like it in the fridge? I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Capolangelo. At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries. Oh yes, Cabo mi lobo. In the gift's horse's mouth, tracks and waves and waterways, ancient materials buried. Yeah, but to where, brother? Okay. Beg him, take him away, Lieutenant, take the body away. No, I'm guessing that if I go to, like, whenever it's time to go to sleep, we can sneak out of our room and get rid of the boots. I'm just gonna search. Like, fuck it. Just as planned. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand. What is this? His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat swollen lips like a rubber spider. Your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent all around. Let's crawl up his nostrils. They are swollen shut. You really need to push to get in. Well, let's push him in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. Thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider. Put your fingers in his mouth. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. Play with it. This feels right. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex from the soft meat. Teeth are budding hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaw open now. Look in. Open your eyes and look. A vision of black and dark red death pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat, and there in the back of his mouth, above the bellow, the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole barely visible to the human eye. It's swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edge appears darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after. Say fuck yeah. He agrees. Keep going. Touch it with your finger. Gently. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Put your finger in. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth right into his brainstem. Brainstem? Yes, that's what this part is called. Feel around. The base, is it basal or basal? Basal ganglia feels clumpy. When entered, there has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again, never wake. Push deeper. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet. There's a cavity, cut right between the hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen and paper. Push deeper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Well, wriggle it in. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrists as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edge is cut right through the latex and into your finger. That can't be good. I feel a solid object right under the skull. Can you get to it? He searches his pocket for something. Inspect the skull first. There's a tiny crack protrusion in the cranium right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside. The object that is in there stopped just short of the skull and the encephalus, knocking its tiny fracture into the cranium. We have the markings of a very small exit wound there. The lieutenant leans closer. Hey, 92%, we can't possibly lose. You pick the objects between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp like metal. With your face twisting from the pain and concentration, all you need to do is just whisper, I got it. Good, good. The fridge in the background buzzes. With excitement, slowly pull the fingers out. The inside of the head feels cold and smooth like a glove as you pull out, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. Garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower and blossom made of lead. A bullet. The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in. So that was a lot of work for just to pull a bullet out. The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says, Oh no. Oh no, it's gonna be our bullet, isn't it? Or something like that. It's gonna be like a bullet from my gun. Unknown caliber. Oh, good. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy fractured on impact. Can I have it? Oh, oops, I misclicked on the other. Oh well. Oh well, I guess I gave Kim a gift. Enjoy. That's gonna be your birthday present and your Christmas gift, so... No, you deserve it. We can log it later. The lieutenant drops the bag in your hand. It feels light. Oh, okay. Sweet. It still counts as a gift for you. He proceeds to take out his notebook. Looks like we need to add one more item in your injury list. Click goes to pen. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft pound, back of mouth. High velocity, temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. I forgot. He underlines the injury forcefully. How does that sound? Sounds like heaven. Opinion, fatal injury. Goddamn right. Click goes to pen, and one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal post-mortem treatment. He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death on the hanging in an attempt to conceal this fact. Treatment officer is an attempt to manipulate the body after death to hide the real cause with the false cause in this case. He points to the mark encircling the corpse's neck. This injury here. The ligament marked a fracture. Hyoid bone was all treatment. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead. Dead da doop doop. Dead da doop. Let's go with that. Dead. You think so? I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There's no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too, small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did foolhardily. Well, no more. We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. There is, of course, a very real possibility he was both shot and hanged. I mean, real possibility. He was both. Like, maybe they just shot him while they hanged him. I don't. Maybe the bullet holds more answers. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I'm certain it has more to tell us. This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it. Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him. To put him out of his misery, he thinks. It's possible, but it does not explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time, and this just smacks of treatment to me. Who would do this? That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them a little easier. Why would anyone do this? To hide something? The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? I think I need to wash myself. That's an actual task, to wash off the death smell. Oh. You really do. I'm glad to hear you say that. Your room in the swirling rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. So what happens next? We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. We can transport him to processing, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. He'll be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile? Work on the case, tend to personal matters, try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. Wait, what about the shoes? I'll leave that choice to you, and one more thing. He looks you in the eye. Great work, detective. The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective. After you bag the corpse, Kim will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly. Well, we're not going to take him out yet until I could try and get those shoes. So we're going to close the door, and hopefully I don't forget about it. This leaves us free to do pretty much anything else. There's only like a bajillion things to do. So many choices. Wait, I got another idea. Maybe the act of showering will give us privacy and I can sneak out. Like we don't even have to maybe wait for the night. Maybe we can just do that shit right now. Time to find out. Police work is tough, it says. Oh god, we still have these stupid union workers. Oh, I never paid this guy. Here, I'm just take this stupid thing. Yeah, there you go. Now, fuck off. What are you looking at, Grandma?
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, Mum.
It's fine. I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. The lady's distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up. Howdy, Elena. What's kicking?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working.
Sucks for you. A faint smile tells you she appreciates the effort, but at the moment her mind is on more serious matters.
The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Yeah, we left the charger on the other island. Hey, what's wrong with the phone?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask Gart, maybe. What the hell do you need a phone for anyways?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to be back on Monday night, but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them.
So what?
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
Uh-huh.
But you have more important things to worry about.
No, I don't. So, your husband is some kind of scientist? Ah, yes, she says, with a pinch of zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise. So, both you and your husband are both cryptozoologists, huh? It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythical beasts and urban legends. Oh. That's a whole bunch of bunk. That's probably why you're in a wheelchair. That's one opinion, yes, and people are entitled to their opinions. That is true. My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby. It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology. One specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Clever wording, but I'm not sold. Searching for species called cryptids. Oh no, it's difficult and often thankless, and frankly many scientists are too lazy to do at universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research. She's completely internalized by her husband's struggles. They are her own. So, what is this expedition your stupid husband was on? Just some field work, sweetie. Morello is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. Well, I already got this figured out. The insect activists, whatever the insect right activists, they got him. He's fucked. Probably dead. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them? The water lock that was broken. Could this be it? Wait, who is this Gary person? Do you trust him? Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. Sounds like a bad idea. The water lock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there. Oh my, what happened to the water lock? Word around the canal is some weird new cryptid destroyed it. 100% backed by science. Oh, now you're just having fun at an old woman's expense. In any case, thank you for looking into this. It takes a weight off my shoulders. Turns to Kim. Thank you both. You're welcome, bitch. She turns back to you. I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. That actually sounds interesting to play and to go and play with. Yeah, some left field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired and it's cold out there. If I see him, I'll let him know you're here when or if I get there. Or I rejected. I already spent too much. I'll take the quest. I'm just not promising I'm going to do it. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. You should pay me in advance, too. Give me money. Tell me more about this rare insect. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. She catches herself. But I shouldn't bore you with the etymological minutiae. The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, I want to hear about this insect. Well, it's phasmid, technically, but... Oh yeah, here comes the interesting. Whether phasmids imitate sticks or imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. She looks at you in the eye and nods, hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with this officer. Probably not, no. I knew it, the lieutenant says. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists. That actually sounds way more interesting than most of my other stuff anyway, so... Probably. It's not made up, officer, I can assure you. Simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Does it have cool powers? Yes, I can blend it almost perfectly among the reeds. Her face lights up at the thought of it. It's how it's stayed hidden all these years, centuries even. That doesn't sound like a cool power. Is it valuable? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money. So it's dangerous? She chuckles to herself. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? What makes you think the phasmid is around here? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in the local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looked like the reeds. Gary sent us the clippings. So, newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. Okay, so what's so special about this stick bug then? Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel, can you explain it all much better? Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure. He's probably dead. Insect activists. We know that's a thing. Tell me more about Morello. Looks, character, relationship. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. What does he look like? Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's, and his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world. Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would you look for? Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair. Usually a bit uncombed, you might say wild even. White hair sounds great. The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description. One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds. You know, just in case. How long have you been married? We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Her smile is soft. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. How did the two of you meet? Via a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. Oh, you guys settled for each other. We hit it off, and, well, here we are. She smiles wistfully. Trying to scam the science community. She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later. Alright, I think I have enough information right now. Ooh, maybe you can convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids. Bam. There's really no point manipulating anyone. She's only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask. Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you tell me about a couple of them? In your sexiest voice. Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too. Ugh. The lieutenant throws you one of his looks. One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. Come on, it's more interesting than this stupid murder mystery. Come on, Kim. Quit being a butt. Cryptid extravaganza? I like the sound of that. And I don't. Just one. Ooh. Alright. What's the most dangerous cryptid? The gnome of Jeroma? She pauses for effect. The gnome of Jeroma? That doesn't sound too bad. Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved the organic tissue. What did it look like? Probably looks like a gnome. It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead. An ungainly little thing, quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped in tarpaulin to suffocate it, and wrapped it in. They wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. She looked at you. She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die. The body of the creature was found. The lieutenant can't help himself. Then why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very lethal species? Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. What? It's already dead. Never mind. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science, she says, mostly to herself. So it's vulnerable to its own poison? That doesn't sound right. Maybe it was, like, genetically engineered to not survive. Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that really convenient? No, it was a perfectly good explanation. Stop being so skeptical. Sure, perfectly good explanation dissolved in its own venom. Go on. Ask about more gnomes or whatever. What's the biggest cryptid? The lieutenant leans in. Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one. No, I didn't. But Kim, don't you want to hear about the other cryptids too? Ah, fuck it, let's have more. Yeah, it's the spirit. Well, the biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Coconur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Coconur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren waste. Just how big is it? No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizons and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision. Is it dangerous? The towering luminosity of Coconur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others a fate unimaginable. Hooey, the lieutenant interjected. No animal can be that large as a mirage. That's what makes it so peculiar, a species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. Oh, that's a bunch of... The giant of Coconur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Coconur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes. Great, this is great shit. You need more. Oh, God. Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here. What's the tiniest cryptid? Crybacter catlensis, she answers immediately. What? Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Katla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologists, blah blah blah, some 7 years ago. What's so special about it? The bacterial colony Mijuala found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history. Mijuala just disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. She injected herself with the bacteria? No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life. You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world? Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible. I'm just going to say irrational, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she had been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the cryobacter catalensis coursing through her bloodstream. Are there any invisible cryptids? Well, if that one was already a unicellular organism, they would essentially be invisible to us because we wouldn't be able to see it with the naked eye. What an interesting question, and the answer is yes, there are. Yeah, the one she probably just described. Of course, all fairy tales have someone or something invisible to them. Shush, Kim, she's gonna tell me about the invisible cryptid. What is it? It's the Kodomamadaka. The woman corrects her glasses. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, visible and intangible. The Kodomama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track. What evidence is there of this animal being a sound? Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, ornithologists? We're trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside of the range of human hearing. So they are testing technology that hasn't been mastered yet. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the EA mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. Just nod eagerly. Scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what happened to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls. She transformed when speaking about these strange animals into a confident woman. Yeah, she should start like a YouTube channel. They realized that they had discovered a new species and they called it Koldomamada Kakakbaka after the Perkinacea, the name for the voice of the god, which is said to be very silent. Wow. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them. Name them? Sequester, Thyme, Just Queen, Chinots. Those are some of the blah, 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 they followed individually. What does it sound like? Like nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and you wouldn't even know. It could be anywhere, everywhere, even. Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound? This conversation doesn't have room for reasonable questions here. Come on. Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle maybe. That emits sound waves, but there's no evidence to support this theory. Could it be right here? It could be. She saw us calmly, as I said, it could be everywhere, and we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights. Why is the Mama Nia so afraid of us? That is a sad story. She frowns. A group of university students assisting with the field work and their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction. She nods gravely. They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound, so they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match it. That's what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same. What happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency? Is this going to be like a phase inversion thing? This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things. If it's the same sound wave, I believe it would amplify. If it was phase shifted, then they can cancel out. They amplify. No, dear, they can't. Oh, fuck you too, Lena. Now everyone's gonna think I'm an idiot. Now, these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. Great regret washes over her, a wending cloth. After that, corpuscles appear to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in EA, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable cold population anywhere. Of course, a common thread in these: disappearance and unfalsibility. I like the story, though, ma'am. I'm glad you did, dear. Interesting. What about... This has been educational. You time to fuck off. That's all for now, ma'am. Yay, autosave.